If you invested in the Walt Disney Company a decade ago, chances are you still have exactly the same amount of money today as you did back then. That, however, is a big problem when inflation has decreased the value of those dollars big time. That's why Disney CEO Bob Iger is facing a fiercely contested vote this Thursday, and yes, he may have doomed the next CEO of the House of Mouse when it comes to compensation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. We, as ever, love to bring you the latest when it comes to entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do, and today we're taking a look at the Disney stock. Now, before we get into this, I want to say very clearly and concisely, we are no Jim Cramer. And I am not here to give you any kind of financial advice. Please do not use this video for such purposes. However, do use this video as an opportunity to click the like button. All right, Bob Iger is facing a very important vote that has to do with CEO compensation, and today we're going to take a look at why this actually may not go his way. Folks, we're looking right now at the Walt Disney Company stock, $99.36 as of the opening for the 19th. And that is important. We're taking this at the very beginning before the bell rings, and we're doing so because we know that things can change as they do. So when you're watching this video right now, chances are it has shifted in some direction. We cannot say for sure which way, but you can see that overall, since the beginning of March, it has been downward, dropping 9.3% in the past month, now under $100. Although at the time of your viewing, it could be different. We don't know. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, take a look. Here we go. This is out of Morningstar by Leslie P. Norton and Hannah Hummel. It says what to expect during Disney's annual meeting, which is this Thursday. And we should say, folks, a note of programming shift change. This Thursday, the Pro Show will be at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Valiant Renegade show, which will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, as we provide around-the-clock live coverage of the Disney shareholders meeting. It is like the Super Bowl when it comes to what we do. Here's what it says out of this article. It's really important. For 2 years, Walt Disney's annual meeting has provided theatrics out of one of the company's superhero movies. Both times, CEO Bob Iger prevailed over activists criticizing him for his succession planning, the firm's belated entrance into the streaming business, and stock underperformance. Now, this is framing this in a positive light for Bob Iger and against Nelson Peltz. Whatever, we don't care. Let's get to the nuts and bolts here. That has to do with Bob Iger's pay, but it's not really Bob Iger's pay. It's the CEO pay, Chief Executive Officer. How much is Disney going to compensate this job? And Bob has done such a bad job at the job that whoever has the job next may be not having too good a time. Take a look at this. It says last year, just 80% of shareholders approved Disney's executive compensation package in a vote called Say on Pay. That's low. According to Morningstar, Sustainalytics, in 2024, S&P 500 executive compensation raises had a median approval rate of 93%. In other words, if you're looking at this as a way of judging the approval rating of the current big boss of the House of Mouse, Bob Iger does not have the kind of vote of confidence that other CEOs tend to have. A vote share under 80% can grab a board's attention and encourage more constructive engagement with shareholders to avoid more aggressive shareholder actions. Yeah, try to placate them. They're none too happy, and we'll get into why in just a moment. One possible reason was Iger's pay package combined with the stock's underperformance. Let me say it again, the stock's underperformance. In the fiscal year ended September 30th of 2023, he, that being Bob Iger, earned $31.6 million, while Disney stock fell 33%. And shares of a peer group supplied by the company rose 28%. In fiscal 2024, that was last year, Iger's package climbed 30% more to $41.1 million, while again, Disney stock fell 21%, and the peer group returned 79.6%. Now, you all know the injustice that is felt when you watch someone receive praise, and this is the surest form of praise, is to get more money from a company. You know the injustice that is felt throughout a community and beyond when someone is rewarded for failure. You know what it feels like to watch if there is a coach who has some sort of political inside track, if that coach has bad season after bad season after bad season and somehow gets a raise, somehow gets assured they'll be around no matter what, it decimates a sport program. You also know the feeling if you watch somebody in your community do wrong. Maybe others know about it, maybe they don't, maybe you are the only one who knows about it. But when you see that person rewarded in life, despite the fact that they are doing ill, maybe in secret, you know the injustice that you feel because people have an intrinsic desire for, at the very least, incompetence to not be rewarded and definitely not malevolence to be rewarded. Now, I don't think that Iger is necessarily malevolent, but I do think he is severely misguided, and the misguided things that he has put upon the company that disseminates a vast amount of American culture, well, that has done great and grave damage to our society. The quote here is that Iger's pay jumped while Disney continued to lag its peers in generating shareholder returns could cast a shadow over this year's say on pay vote, says Jackie Cook, who oversees the Environmental, Social, and Governance Voting Policy Advisory Group at Sustainalytics. And say that 5 times fast. Iger's contract expires in 2026. Now, the reason this matters is if this continues to drop, you could see a situation where future CEOs are greatly constrained such that their compensation is not what Iger's is. Iger manages to have what he has because he has maintained vast control over the board. But to give you some idea of just how poorly this Disney company is performing over the long haul, folks, we need to take a look at exactly what it's been doing since 2016. Yes, we need to go way, way back, and here's what we have. Folks, take a look at this. This is from StatMuse. And if we take a look, it says, quote, the closing price for Walt Disney in 2016 was $98.59 on December 30th, 2016. It was up 2.6% for the year. Again, closing in 2016 was $98.59. The closing in 2025, as of the bell before it rang this morning, $99.36. A change of about less than $1. Now, I don't know about you, but if you have invested in the Disney company and you've been holding on to that since 2016, you can't be very happy with that. And I'm going to show you why. To reveal exactly how bad this is, we've had to go to our good friend, Professor ChatGPT. And we've checked this, we've verified it. I'm going to read it to you. It's a little complicated, but I want you to understand just how weakened the Walt Disney Company is in comparison to where it was in 2016 by virtue of the fact that it has the same value, but it really doesn't because of inflation. And if you're a shareholder, it's not just that you have the same amount of money in your stock, you actually have less transactional power. Here's the explanation. To determine the equivalent value, and this is the market cap that Disney had back then, right? Based on all stocks. The total value of the Walt Disney Company back in 2016 in December, as we just read, was $179.69 billion in USD. All right, so we need to find out what would the value of that be in March of 2025, okay? According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics Consumer Price Index data, the CPI in December 2016 was 241.432. The CPI in February of 2025 was 319.082. Using these figures, we can calculate the cumulative inflation rate between December 2016 and February of 2025 at 32.16%. Applying this inflation rate to the original amount, 237.49 billion is what the company should be valued at right now if the company had just stayed at the same transactional power. In other words, if the Walt Disney Company, its value, had inflated at the same rate as inflation, just by virtue of the fact of staying the same, it would have increased by 32% in value. And that includes the stock. But it did not. It stayed the same. So conversely, that means that in terms of transactional power, in terms of what you have in your wallet based on having that same value of Disney stock, you have a decrease of 32%. You have a decrease of 32% in terms of what that stock is worth to you. That is a huge problem. How big of a problem is it? Well, if we go back to Morningstar, here's a chart that shows you the separation, what they call the delta between the Walt Disney Company and the stock market. Now, it doesn't go back as far as 2016, but it goes back as far as 2020. And then we can see 2021. And what you can see is that since Iger came back, the blue line is Disney, the red line is the stock market. Since Iger returned, a growing delta between the stock market and Disney has existed that indicates that Disney is losing in comparison to the S&P 500. All of that means that people are distraught with Disney if they're invested into it. Now, I can't tell you if this is the time to buy or sell. I can't tell you whether you should be a bull or a bear. I'm not going to. If I was the kind of person to be able to tell you these sorts of things, I still would not. Don't take anything I'm telling you as evidence for what you should do with your finances. However, what you should know is that going into this shareholders meeting with Bob Iger on Thursday, not everything is roses. Not everything is rainbows, sunshine, pixie dust, cupcakes, and cheddar cheese for the mouse. Rather, this could get ugly. And by the way, Morningstar, when it is said that Disney has come out like a superhero with Bob Iger winning against the activist investors, I'm not sure that's the way that shareholders will see this, because shareholders may have looked at this and said the activist investors were getting involved to try to stop this delta from existing, but exist it does. And as a result, there is no joy in Mudville and there is no joy in the land of Bob Iger. People are ready for him to get on a yacht. Folks, I also would encourage you a lot to go check out that Park Place. There's an article there that talks about the possible delay that Bloomberg is now discussing when it comes to the CEO transition. Apparently, they're none too confident with their internal candidates, and they're having a heck of a hard time finding external candidates who can come in and fill the shoes that Bob wears into the shower. All right, folks, the hour is nigh. The shareholders meeting is coming. Make sure you are here with us and the Valiant Renegade channel. Coverage of the Disney shareholders meeting starts at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, live right here on the Pro Channel. And again, Valiant Renegade will take over at 1 p.m. Eastern. Full day coverage all day as we dive into what is happening with a company on the dive. All right, folks, we hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, until the next time, we have the joy and the honor of spending time with you, being invited into your day on your device. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
Oh no, Lauren's gonna be sad again. He's texted me last night about how bad the Odyssey's gonna be. That guy needs a pick-me-up.
Ah, Lauren's feeling down in the dumps again, huh? Sounds like he's feeling forlorn. Nice setup, Floral.
Wilton, don't you have a bridge to haunt or something? Leave Lauren alone. He's not even here to deal with your nonsense.
Well, 'cause he's all alone. There's no one there beside him. I bet he's just lamenting about his boring life. You know, he probably needs WDW Pro to give him some good news. Like that Jonas was fired.
You're a pest, you know that? Lauren's fine. He's probably just, like, nervous or something. He's not sulking or anything.
Sulking? Oh, actually, he's probably just languishing. Picture it. Lauren staring at the movie screen, lamenting that he has to be there. And then the film ends, and like a Christmas ornament that fell off a tree, he's shattered.
You're weird.
You know, I should troll the WDW Pro comments that Lauren's so down he's... Wait a minute. Lauren's so down, he's practically Lawrencescape art.
Yeah, and I'd be thrilled if you'd leave and do that. For a few hours. Actually, it'll help Pro in the algorithm by you leaving comments, or noise, or whatever, on all of Pro's videos.
Noise? I am a maestro of mirth. Lauren's my new canvas. Like a mom folding laundry. Oh, that one sucked.
Yeah.
All right, Well, I'm gonna go check out the next TPP article and get launched into the stratosphere of information. Nobody wants to be lonely. Everybody hurts sometimes.